WGN News at 9.
They didn't wait. A suburban high school evacuates when the rumors of a bomb plot just wouldn't stop. Good evening, I'm Allison Payne.
And I'm Steve Sanders. Prosecutors are deciding right now whether to press charges against the teenager police say was behind the threat. WGN's Juan Carlos Van Hool live in Schaumburg with our top story. Juan Carlos.
Steve, the teenager in question still being detained at this hour here at the Schaumburg Police Department as an assistant state's attorney with Cook County confers with local cops on whether or not to press charges. You know, with the Virginia Tech massacre earlier this week and the Columbine anniversary tomorrow, authorities here absolutely taking no chances.
We were just in school, I guess, and then we heard an announcement and it said that we have to evacuate the building.
Junior Jacob Potter, one of hundreds of Schaumburg High School students, evacuated Thursday around 1:30 p.m., 7th period, after school administrators decided to take action following rampant rumors all day. So there were rumors about what? What specifically?
Just like a kid had a bomb and he was going to, like, blow up. Oh, not blow up, but blow up the gym. And, like, when we have assembly tomorrow.
The rumors first surfaced yesterday, and after the principal put out this advisory on the school's website and read it over the PA, students started coming forward, pointing the finger to what they called a troubled 16-year-old boy. Schaumburg police detaining him immediately.
And we did find some materials in his possession that were somewhat suspicious, gloves, wires, and drill bits, and that caused us to raise our concern a bit and do a precautionary evacuation of the school.
With the heightened security about the Columbine anniversary and the fact of the recent events with Virginia Tech earlier this week, that we didn't want to take chances with anything.
Two other acquaintances of the student questioned but released. Police still trying to figure out a motive on this one, say the materials weren't enough to make a bomb, but this junior from another area high school who knows of the teen says,
from what he has told someone that he was in the works of making the bomb, it makes me a little nervous to go to school, I guess, because you never know what kids are thinking at my school, you know.
And there was another reported threat at another area high school today. Police here say the one good thing that came out of this incident here in Schaumburg is that students came forward. As soon as you hear something, authorities say you should tell your school principal. Students could help save others' lives. Reporting live from Schaumburg, Juan Carlos Van Hool, WGN News.
Tonight, there is a growing backlash nationwide directed at a number of news outlets for broadcasting Cho Sung-hwi's videotaped confession. Meanwhile, investigators continue to look into his mental illness. In Washington, WGN's Grant Rampey looks into Cho's motives.
Well, police say they now have evidence that at least 2 months ago, Joe began planning for his killing spree. Still no definitive word, though, on what prompted him to set his evil plan in motion this past Monday.
On this campus and throughout the country, outrage over the media's decision to air this mentally ill mass murderer's last words.
While there was some marginal value to the package that we received, the fact of the matter is we already had most all of this information.
One new bit of the killer's bio surfacing today. Former middle and high school classmates say Joe endured years of bullying because he was so reserved and talked with an accent. Joe's former roommate here at Tech says he believes part of that video manifesto was recorded in their dorm.
Until now, I just thought he was really shy and reserved, but it seems like now he just was trying to fool us, try to put on an act to hide what he was planning the entire year.
We cannot let this horror define Virginia Tech.
School officials are trying to help students and themselves move forward. They announced today that at next month's graduation, diplomas will be awarded to all the murdered students.
It really touches me as a mom that they've decided to do that.
The injured, meanwhile, continue to recover. 2 more have been released from local hospitals. The 6 who are still being treated were serenaded today by the school's marching band. This as questions swirl about Cho Sung-hwi's 2005 treatment for mental illness. Why was he allowed to come back to campus? How was he able to purchase 2 guns? In South Korea, Joe's great aunt says his mother worried about her son, but she says no one knew he could cause such trouble. Virginia's governor promises as investigators probe the events leading up to Monday's massacre, they'll look at what can be done here and at campuses throughout the U.S. to keep this from happening again.
You know, like so many laws, perhaps there are tweaks or changes that need to be made to reflect the kinds of things we'll learn.
As for the issue of the killer's video, expect to see a lot less of it in the coming days. The major networks promise they will limit the amount of time that those images can be broadcast. In Washington, Grant Rampey, WGN News.
A Virginia Tech teacher visiting Chicago is trying to console her students while she's away. Tiffany Trent is an English professor at Virginia Tech. She was not on campus when the shootings occurred, but she's been emailing her students constantly, asking them to share their emotions. Trent admits that she cried for the first time this morning after reading one of those emails.
This is so hard for them. They're so young, and it's just such a difficult and crazy thing to have happen on your campus. So I'm trying to hold up with it.
Austin Cloyd.
Names of the Virginia Tech victims were read this morning at a candlelight vigil, the tribute organized by the Korean American Association of Chicago. Following the vigil, members of the community offered prayers and support for the victims' families. They also stressed that the actions of the Korean gunmen in Virginia do not reflect upon the community as a whole. Earlier today, Governor Blagojevich declared that tomorrow will be an official day of mourning in Illinois. The governor encourages all schools and churches to ring their bells tomorrow at 11 a.m. to honor the lives lost on Monday. Coming up next, the CTA switch-up. Chicago's top transit guy is gone. Who will now be in charge of the city commute?
Some have called it the big Twizzler in the sky. The Chicago Spire is one step closer to changing our skyline.
And back in the Weather Center, Tom Skilling's putting the finishing touches on the kind of weekend we deserve. Hey, Tom.
You're watching Chicago's very own WGN News at 9, named Best Newscast by the Illinois Associated Press.
Take the UC Control Quiz at livingwithuc.com and talk to your gastroenterologist about the results and current treatments.
You're watching Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
After 10 years as CTA chief, Frank Cruzy is stepping down. Mayor Daley wants his chief of staff, Ron Huberman, to take over. WGN's Antoine Lewis is here with the big transit shakeup. Antoine.
Good evening, Allison. Now, this came as a major surprise this morning, and Frank Cruzy says this had nothing to do with politics, adding that it was all personal.
This is a project, a job where you sleep with your pager. You're there on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I've done it for 9.5 years.
And with those words, Frank Cruzy announced his resignation as head of the Chicago Transit Authority. Cruzy didn't elaborate any further.
And overall, I think the CTA is better than it was when I came.
Under Cruzy's guidance, CTA ridership increased to an estimated 1.5 million passengers a day. The CTA also renovated and, in some cases, modernized many of Chicago's oldest stations, the most recent being the Brown Line project, an accomplishment highlighted by Mayor Daley this morning.
He's been very, very helpful in securing state and federal funds for the reconstruction of the Brown Line, getting that project underway and keep it on schedule.
However, Frank Cruzy's handling of the CTA did bring about critics, like Alderman Joe Moore, who disapproved of the way the Brown Line project's been handled, as well as the CTA's capital needs budget, believed to be in excess of $800 million.
We really need to have a complete and total overhaul of the CTA to make it the first-class transit system that it should be and has the potential of being. And we have to do more than just change leadership at the top.
Moore also weighed in on Ron Huberman, currently the mayor's chief of staff, now the mayor's nominee to replace Frank Cruzy.
We can't just blindly accept the mayor's appointment without finding out who else might be available that might really do the job necessary in order to clean up the CTA.
Frank Cruzy's resignation is effective immediately. Now, all CTA projects currently underway will continue until a replacement is confirmed. Stephen Allison.
All right, Antoine, thank you for that report. The Chicago Spire could be on its way to spiraling onto the lakefront. The city's planning commission has approved the design for the 150-story building. The new plan tried to improve on issues raised by residents in Streeterville, like parking, green space, and how this structure will fit in with the neighborhood.
I think the fact that it's such an amazing sculptural piece is going to mitigate, and a lot of their opinions about it. Plus, it's going to reflect light, so I think they won't necessarily feel like a dark, looming presence like some other buildings in the city.
Well, the Spire design now features an underground parking garage, a landscape public square, and also provides money to develop neighboring DuSable Park. it still faces approval by the zoning committee and a full council vote. Well, the weather we've been waiting for is finally here.
Ahead, a spring streak of warmth is just days away. Tom Seeling's forecast pinpoints the best day for an early season barbecue.
Live from WGN TV Chicago, the official drawing of the Illinois Lottery.
Good evening, I'm Jeanette Rivera with your winning lottery numbers for Thursday, April 19, 2007. First game is Pig 3. First winning number is 0. Second number, 1. And the third and final Pig 3 number, 8. That makes your Pig 3 numbers for tonight, 0, 1, 8. And now moving on to Pick 4, and join us tomorrow night for Mega Millions. That jackpot is $37 million. Lotto tomorrow on Saturday night is $4.25 million. First Pick 4 number, 7. Second number, 0. Third number, 1. And the fourth and final Pick 4 number, 8. That makes your Pick 4 numbers for tonight, 7018. We're now moving on to Little Lotto, the game you can play 7 nights a week, with a rollover jackpot that starts at $100,000. Tonight's jackpot, $175,000. First Little Lotto number, 7. Second number, 15. Third number, 22. Fourth number, 34. And the fifth and final number, that number is 8. So to recap, Little Lotto numbers for tonight, 7, 15, 22, 34, and 8. And again, join us tomorrow night for Mega Millions. That jackpot is $37 million. This is Jeanette Rivera. Have a great night.
Tonight's lottery drawing was brought to you by WGN TV and supervised by the accounting firm of Clifton Gunderson.
On the next Sex and the City. Was that Aiden?
My relationship with Aiden was long dead, but with one invitation, he was suddenly a presence in my life again.
Good to see you, Carrie.
Good to see you, too.
I think it's good Aiden invited you. It means that he's ready to be friends.
I'm just afraid the way I treated him is going to haunt me the rest of my life.
On the next Sex and the City.
Tonight at 11 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
It's Dish with Doris. Today, Tanya's story. She spends more time scrubbing crusty mac and cheese than with her husband.
Now he's getting crusty.
Honey, bust through it with new Palmolive Scrub Buster with microbeads. That's how it helps bust away tough, stuck-on food.
Bye-bye, Mac.
Hello, Jack. Bust through it with new Palmolive Scrub Buster with microbeads.
Your mind. It takes everything in and sorts it all out. You need to keep it vital. Introducing a new supplement, Bayer Nutritional Science Vital and Sharp Mind, uniting science and nutrition to help support memory, mental sharpness, and healthy brain function with a unique formula of ginkgo and omega-3. What will your vital mind achieve? Find out more at BayerNutritionalScience.com, uniting science and nutrition for your vitality.
WGN News is sponsored in part by FungiCure.
Finger and toe area fungal infections require strong medicine. As a pharmacist, I recommend FungiCure.
FungiCure liquid eliminates fungus around nails with powerful antifungal medicine. Just brush it on. It's clear and dries in a snap. FungiCure, the finger and toe fungi specialist.
The Sears Days Great 10 sale is going on now. But hurry, it's the last 3 days of the biggest sale of the season. And the best time to buy hundreds of items in every department. Plus, don't miss special product demos throughout the store.
I've been waiting for this.
Now through Saturday. Sears.
You're watching Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
U.S. Attorney General Alberto Gonzales tells a Senate committee that he did nothing improper in firing 8 federal prosecutors. Gonzales was grilled for 5 hours as he testified today before the Senate Judiciary Committee. The senators confronted Gonzales with documents and sworn testimony that they said showed he was more involved in the prosecutor firings than he contended. And another Republican senator urged the Attorney General to resign.
It was handled incompetently. The communication was atrocious. It was inconsistent. It's generous to say that there were misstatements. It's a generous statement. And I believe you ought to suffer the consequences that these others have suffered. And I believe the best way to put this behind us is your resignation.
I don't know whether or not that puts everything behind us, quite frankly.
71 times during his testimony, Gonzales said he could not recall or remember conversations or events surrounding the dismissals of the prosecutors.
Well, transportation and security needs are already becoming major issues should Chicago become the host city for the 2016 Summer Olympics. Mayor Daley was in Washington to meet with the state's congressional delegation today. They agreed to urge Governor Blagojevich and state lawmakers to pass a capital budget with matching dollars to claim federal money for the infrastructure improvements.
We have pledged our total support in a bipartisan way to help the mayor in every way possible to win this bid and bring the Olympics to Chicago.
They have supported us. They've sent letters, as well as we're going to be working an agenda with them on behalf of the U.S. Olympic Committee. That's our partner.
Mayor Daley also said the city is conducting a national search in an attempt to find a chief operating officer for the Chicago 2016 committee who can work with CEO Pat Ryan.
Funeral arrangements are now set for Rosemont Mayor Donald Stevens, who died yesterday after his battle with stomach cancer at the age of 79. Residents of Rosemont had nothing but praise for the man who founded that village 51 years ago. He was the one and only mayor Rosemont has ever had. Residents say they even overlooked Stevens' alleged mob connections. And after creating a thriving economic center near O'Hare from out of nothing, Stevens made sure the village's 4,000 plus residents shared in its gains.
Thought that government should work for the people and return things to the people. And every one of these homeowners in this subdivision you're looking at right now received a check back from the village every year. You know, they got a rebate on their taxes.
Stevens' body will lie in state at the Rosemont Theater on Sunday between 2 and 9 p.m. His funeral is Monday at 10 a.m., also in the Rosemont Theater.
I'll take a break now. Tom Skilling's forecast is next, and it is one you don't want to miss.
If I were to eat something cold, automatically it's like a shock that went right through your gum line.
If you're one of the many people who suffer from painful tooth sensitivity, you need to know about Oragel Tooth Desensitizer. Just one treatment relieves painful tooth sensitivity for a whole month.
Pain-free for the rest of the month.
I had been using Sensodyne toothpaste, and I switched over to Oragel Tooth Desensitizer. It was like a miracle.
Go to sensitivitygone.com for the facts about Oragel Tooth Desensitizer. Swab it on, sensitivity gone.
Thank you so much, Oragel.
Home Improvement, weekdays on Superstation WGN.
Hello, hello, how are you? Hello, hello, how have you been? It's good to see you, my friend. So until we meet again.
Nothing brings people together like boating. Get started with your free DVD at discoverboating.com.
I'm Mark Goldston, Chairman and CEO of Net Zero. Look, we all know that every internet provider takes you to the same internet, so why pay more to get there? At Net Zero, we give you internet access at a great price, starting at $9.95 a month. You'll get features like pop-up blocker, virus protection, and the fastest surfing over dial-up. And Net Zero is risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. All this for just $9.95 a month. Call 1-800-NET-ZERO or visit netzero.com.
Funniest pets and people, Tuesday night on Superstation WGN.
Listen up, everybody. The easy button now gets us 10% back on the things we use the most.
Coffee?
Hair gel?
Plant food?
Worms. No, 10% back at Staples on ink, paper, and copies.
Introducing the new Staples Rewards program. It's free, and you get 10% back on ink, paper, and copies to spend at Staples. That was easy.
Breaking news out of Japan, where a strong earthquake may trigger a tsunami. Preliminary reports peg the quake at a magnitude of 6.7 on the Richter scale. It was followed by another one measuring at least 6. Some islands in the area could be hit by waves as high as 18 inches or 18 feet. People there have been warned to stay away from the coast.
Wow. Definitely something to look out for. You got a forecast that's kind of the kind we dream about in January.
You know something? This could be the first 80-degree temperature in this forecast that we've seen in Chicago since last October 3rd. And it may be the warmest weekend in 7 months, Steve and Allison. Isn't that beautiful? Without any storminess in our area, though there'll be big storms to the west. And late Sunday night, if they hold together, they might reach the Chicago area. And this on a weekend that we marked the anniversary of our worst tornado outbreak ever. The one that, of course, whirled into Oak Lawn and also Lake Zurich and Belvedere. Terrible storm. Talk some more about that later. We have our Fermilab Tornado Seminar coming up. But there's the time lapse of the clouds exiting the area. The same northeast winds that have blown for 3 days and produced chilly temperatures took this little notch of cloudiness and kind of wiped it out today as the dry air from the north